It's the live sit and talk with Matthew Batrap.
Hey everybody, this is Matthew from MiniWarGaming, and I know my last name is not Batrap. If this is your first live show with me ever, it's just more a running joke because beat Matt Batrap people, actually some people, thought my last name was Batrap. And I could see the confusion because Batrap is not synonymously known for being standing for battle report quite yet. We're trying to make it that way. And Blue Table Painting, I think they're the first ones that used it, but we've gone over this so many times. Matthew, your shirt really fits for today. R.I.P. Yes, today is March 21st, 2013, and we will be talking today about the recent changes. I already posted a nice long video. I'm not going to make you watch it here, because hopefully you've already seen it or decided not to watch it, and I don't want to force you to watch it because it's like 27 minutes long. But if you're interested, you can definitely go and see that. Just go to youtube.com and search for MiniWarGaming Store is closing. So yes, rest in peace, the MiniWarGaming Store. It's not closed yet. We're having a humongous sale. It'll probably be our biggest sale ever. Already we're getting tons of support from everybody, so we're getting lots of orders. And we're also doing a big vault giveaway right now, massive 14 DVD digital download giveaway, and we've had incredible reception for that as well. So don't worry, MiniWarGaming will live on. We will continue to make videos. If anything, this will actually provide some advantages because we'll no longer be tied down to just certain games. You see, with the old MiniWarGaming business model, we'd only want to make videos about games that we sell in the store, because it makes sense to create as much synergy between whatever money we spend on making videos and every other part of our business as well. So now that that's no longer the case, we can, in the near future, start covering other games that you've been so desperately wanting us to do. It won't be immediate. Obviously, 40K is still going to be a very popular one. We're not dropping Games Workshop videos because, let's face it, they're popular. People like them, and we like the game as much as we don't like Games Workshop's policies. So I'm not trying to stage a boycott or anything like that, just more putting it out there what happens so that everybody can kind of understand what Games Workshop has done. No, they are not responsible for putting us out of business or anything like that. It was more a combination of things, and that was kind of the last straw where we're like, okay, well, with that, this really becomes more obvious. And of course, yes, we can look at more dark potential, especially down the line once we get Wave 2 and 3 out. Will we? Okay, I'll go into questions later on. I can see some questions are already coming in. Expecting more people than normal on this, just because I've actually broadcasted it to our full list. So over the next probably 10 to 20 minutes, we'll be getting a lot of viewers right now. We just got a little over 60, but it is starting at a time that is not normal. But I will be happy to answer all the questions that you have to the best of my ability, to the stuff that we've decided at least. But let me just make it clear that this is a good change. The only thing that sucks is that there's a few employees that have lost their jobs. And I never liked that, of course. It wasn't their fault, of course. So it's just an unfortunate side effect of what we've had to do. But in the long run, it'll probably create many, many more jobs within MiniWarGaming, as we can focus more of our revenue into content production. And the only way to get more content production is by getting more people producing content. So that means that there should be more and more jobs over the next few years for that. So definitely be looking into that. So now it's funny, this is all happening at the same time as Dark Potential Week. It's just interesting timing that we had decided to do Dark Potential Week, and then we found out about all this. And at first I was like, okay, we got to do Dark Potential Week and get that done before we even announce what we're going to be doing. But then as time went on, it was just like, no, we got to do this now. We got to let everybody know and just get it out there. So originally this live show was going to be a Dark Matters extravaganza where I would cover a lot about Dark Potential, but I'm not going to do that. I don't mind answering questions about Dark Potential in this one, but I will definitely be focusing my attention on answering your questions about the recent changes that I talked about. Okay? Sound good? Then let's go and do some
Q&A.
All right, so now this is the portion where I will answer questions. We don't have too many people on yet, only about 80, so I'm not going to turn it to slow mode yet, but if we do start to get too many questions, then I will switch it to slow mode. All slow mode is that you can only chat, you can only like post in the chat like once every minute, I think. Okay, so go ahead and ask your questions, and I will do my best to answer. Miso asks, will you still be able to buy models wholesale for your business? Will be restricted. A lot of different things like, well, Games Workshop requires a retail store, so obviously our trade account won't be open once we decide to close down. We'll probably be able to still keep some of our accounts open with some of the retailers, but I think Privateer Press has the same model where you have to have a brick and mortar retail store in order to buy their stuff. So that's fine though. We can buy the models like everybody else. It just is part of the business expenses. So it'll still be the business buying the models, which is nice. Drewski says, sorry, I just logged in. Just curious if you're going to continue to sell a Games Workshop in-store. We are shutting down the local store as well as the online store. The local store, we're in a small city here, only about 50,000 people, not enough to sustain a local store. The local store was only really there because we had to have one. In the end, we wanted to have one because we wanted to support the local players, but it definitely can't survive on its own. So no. Shredrig, what do you think GW is thinking? Well, obviously, I think that they're trying to do what they believe is in their best interest. It feels like they're trying to just push their profit margins up so that it looks better for their shareholders. Of course, it seems like that will then have long-term, it'll cause long-term problems. So that seems to be what they're thinking. Maybe they actually believe that online sales hurt the hobby. I don't know. It's so hard to believe that they would think that, but I know their CEO is of the older generation, so it's possible that he just has a hard time seeing past that. And I say that with all due respect to the older generation. I know it's a new thing, and it doesn't say RIP MiniWarGaming. It says RIP because he rolled a 1. It's just appropriate that I decided to wear this one today. Didn't even think about it. But I don't know. They obviously are trying to do what's best for their business, but whether it'll be best for their business in the long run, obviously they think it will be, but I don't know. Fredley, how is the gold vault going to work? We're still working on that. We're trying to work out some deals. We're trying to work out some details as well as some deals, but nothing to announce yet until next week. But don't worry, you'll be taken care of one way or another. And that's another question about the same thing. Qbert Enhanced, have to say you guys are great to do business with. Well, thank you. Solanino, will the vault still give away certain rewards on a monthly basis or however it works? And will you be checking out new games on like Kickstarter like Drake and Arena Rex? Well, I answered the first question with the vault thing. The second one is we will definitely be more free to check out these games. Whether we fully support them with a lot of videos or whether we just do like a few videos, we'll see. But you'll definitely, I think you're going to see a change over the next year. Linux Credo, where will you now be making your bat reps and other videos? We're keeping the location. We still need the warehouse for Dark Potential and for our magnet sales, and we still need space to make battle reports. We might even still run the local club if we can. And so we're definitely keeping all the space. Same question, what will happen to gold memberships? We'll announce that next week, hopefully. Swag.net, does your shirt say RIP MiniWarGaming? No, it says RIP, he rolled a 1. So it's a joke, you roll a 1, you're dead. I honestly didn't think about it when I put this one on. It was just the one at the top of my dresser. Kev Killer 1994, down with Games Workshop. See, I don't want to lead any boycotting or anything like that. We like their games. I don't like their business policies. We're still going to support them in our videos and everything else. We're still going to do battle reports because they're good. They're good stuff. I know people don't all agree with that, but you have to at least agree that they've definitely headed this market up. Now they're making bad decisions. Well, what will that mean for the future? We'll just have to wait and see. All right. Fishy Swass. You're trying to make me miss the show, changing the time around all the time. Not all the time, just today. I just wanted an extra hour to answer your questions. Riddock, from a model maker standpoint, is resin better / cheaper than metal? Metal is usually cheaper for startup costs. Okay, I'm going to switch it to slow mode because we're getting too many now. Because the molds for metal are cheaper, and then it's just easier to cast it. Resin, some people prefer resin because it's lighter, but if you make a mistake with the resin cast, you have to throw it out. You make a mistake with the metal cast, you can toss it back in and it can melt back down and be used again. So I think overall the metal is cheaper. But I don't actually know about all the resin costs. But for us, we chose metal because it would be cheaper to start up. Pipe77, when you say store, do you mean buying things and such and still be able to come down there to play you guys? We'll definitely still have tables open for our battle reports, so we'll definitely still want challengers. That's just it. Swag.net, can't you just sell Games Workshop items through an eBay account? They said no online selling, including eBay. Miso, can you not keep the store open and do email order for GW, shopping cart for the rest? It wouldn't be profitable enough. Could we make it work in the long run? Maybe, but there's just so much money invested in there that if we could free up that money, we could really make the vault and the content side. It's really what it's come down to. I don't want you to think that Games Workshop has shut us down. I really don't want that impression. I said that clearly at the beginning of the video, and I'll say it clearly again. There's two parts of the mini wargaming business. There's our store, which I grouped the local store and the online store together, and then there's our content side, which includes the vault. Now, the content side and the vault do help the store sales, and store sales do help the vault, but for all other intents and purposes, they're almost separate from each other. And so the store has been struggling, whereas the vault has been prospering. And so the store, even though it's been somewhat profitable, requires more and more investment as new products come out. And that's normal. That's just part of the business. And yet, it's been requiring all of our resources in order to do that, whereas the vault side has been doing incredibly well. It's been growing thanks to you guys and the support that we've received. And we want to be able to invest more in it, but we can't because our money keeps getting tied up in inventory and other costs. And so by shutting down the store, it frees up the money for the vault, which allows us to grow it faster. So you should actually see more and more videos covering more and more games over the next year or two. And we're really excited for that. So that's really why we decided to do this. The change by Games Workshop was the catalyst. We got this change, we're like, that's going to make it even less profitable. All right, I think it's time to shut it down. So that's really what happened. Okay. Thane Aquilin, will you guys start playing specialist games now, like Battlefleet Gothic and the like? And the answer is most likely yes. There's been times where I've wanted to crack out Space Hulk and play a game for a battle report, but I'm like, why would I waste my time doing that? Because we can't sell Space Hulk anymore because it's out of print. And so, yes, we get the benefit of people enjoying the video, but we wouldn't get the benefit of selling it in the store. And so now that's no longer an issue. So that actually really excites me. I don't know how much you realize that excites me. You guys have been asking for these other games, and I want to do them. I want to try out all sorts of other games, but I was kind of forced to stay within 40K, Fantasy, and War Machine because those were our top sellers. Drewski, there were talks about a petition on the forum. In your opinion, do you think this would carry any weight against Games Workshop? Absolutely not. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it because it might carry weight in the sense that they'll see it and maybe it'll affect some future decision, but there's no way they're going to reverse this. The Tomahawk Warrior, will you miss Mini Wargaming? No, because Mini Wargaming will still be here. Will I miss the store? I'll miss walking into the warehouse and seeing all these cool products. I will miss that. But overall, it'll relieve a lot of stress. Crixlight, sorry if this has been asked before, but how does this affect the Mini Wargaming bottom line? Will you need to drastically restructure? Well, a few employees have been let go, unfortunately, because their sole job was to take care of the store. For our bottom line, it should actually improve it, because now we'll have that money freed up to invest in the vault. Why not keep the store and sell prior to your press? Because there wouldn't be enough. I said I'd cancel the vault membership on one of your vids, but in light of this, I'll be renewing it. Well, I actually do really appreciate that because now more than ever, the vault will actually be the thing that keeps us going. So if you want to support Mini Wargaming, then you can join the vault. If you're not able to financially support Mini Wargaming by joining the vault, then watching our videos actually helps too because we make a little bit of advertising revenue. But for the vault members are the super awesome supporters of Mini Wargaming. I hope that doesn't come across like if you're not a vault member, I don't like you, because that's not the case. We don't need everybody to be a vault member. If everybody was, that would be awesome, but we don't need that in order to survive. We only need a percentage. But the more the merrier, obviously. The more vault members that join, the more free videos we actually make. It's ironic, but it works that way. Chip M. Hazard, do you guys have any sales prognosis for Dark Potential yet? If only preliminary. Sales prognosis. Are you asking, I'll ask you to restructure that question. Do you mean are we going to have a sale on Dark Potential, or do we know our numbers for how many we've sold so far? KKL Reaper, Riddick resin is usually better detail, but it's more brittle and usually requires more cleanup work. Yeah. Well, there's a reason Finecast miniatures are so expensive, besides the fact that Games Workshop has high-priced models. But if you think about it, they're not just going to price the Finecast higher just because. And that's true. They price everything higher just because, but in relation to it, the Finecast are more expensive than the plastic. And the reason for that is because there's a higher cost per model to make them right. So it's not as easy as metal. Metal, you can spin dozens of hundreds of them per hour per employee. With resin, way less, way less. Kev Killer, their games are fine. Their mindset on independent retailers is awful. I agree. KKL Reaper, from my past experience, the Games Workshop online store is garbage. I can't say. I've never actually ordered from their online store. It obviously has the selection that you're looking for. It has every single product that they possibly have, and they offer free shipping. But I have never ordered, so I can't give any experience on that. Tyrella, have you talked with the Games Workshop at all about the changes? Well, you see, I don't really get to talk to Games Workshop. I get to talk to my trade rep, and while for all intents and purposes he represents Games Workshop, they're not usually able to answer my questions to the full extent that I'd want. Not so much what the changes are, but what the Games Workshop was really thinking. Although they'll just reiterate what it actually says in the trade policies. Nothing against them. They're just the messenger. I have nothing against my trade reps for these changes. Unfortunately for them, they're the one that get the brunt of my complaints. But it doesn't ever seem to go any further than that. Not for any fault of their own. Hopefully they do pass it on, but I never hear from any supervisors or managers or anything like that. Gomble Face, tell Dave I love him, Matt. I will. Swag.net, okay, maybe I didn't phrase my question correctly. When I say sell through eBay, I didn't mean as MiniWarGaming. I just meant act like a single person who has a ton of Games Workshop products on hand and just sell them on eBay. Or do you think they would find out who you were? Well, how would I get the Games Workshop products unless I buy them from them? If I buy them from from a distributor, then I can do what I want. I think, maybe. But yeah, they would kind of catch on that you're buying thousands of dollars of products from them, and that you, yeah, they'll have a hard time policing it. But I'm not going to try to work around it. That's just a way to eventually go out of business rather than just do it now. Kev Killer, GW won't care about their independent retailers. They seem to think independent retailers are just freeloading off their products. That is the impression they give. Hopefully that's not the way they actually think. Vishiswas, KKL Reaper, I'd like to back up your comment by pointing out the new army deals that Games Workshop have started doing, and the savings for those army deals. No saving. You simply get to click on the website less times. Ooh, freaking ho. I did see those. And you know what? You can't blame them for that. You can talk about the marketing and all that, but Amazon does the same thing. You go on Amazon, you're looking at a product, and underneath it, it'll usually like, buy this product, there's 2 others, and it'll cost this much. And your initial response is like, ooh, that must be a savings, but when you actually add it up, it's not. They're just trying to offer the bundles. But having said that, Games Workshop does not have sales on its products, and I think that that's a good thing. Yeah, I know some people say Games Workshop never has a sale. I don't like that. That's why I like to shop at MiniWarGaming. It's up to that's up to the retailers to have sales. What they do is they package it into special deals. And those army deals should have probably cost a little less because that's their way of having a sale. For example, their battle forces cost less than buying all the models separately. So that is, in fact, a type of sale. It's permanent, but it's a sale. And so they could do that with their army deals. They had like their mega forces at times during the holiday seasons. They usually have those coming out. So that's actually their way of doing sales, which is very smart. Because if they allow all the independent retailers to buy them, which they don't always, then it kind of passes on those savings and allows that sale to be benefited by from all the retailers. That's the way they should do it. Not actually have sales on their website or in their stores and compete against retailers even more. Unless they're going to pass on those savings to their retailers and let them have a sale too. But that would be very difficult because retailers might already have product in their store, so reordering, etc. It's interesting. But so, Cable 458 or Cabal. Woo, specialist games make me happy. Maybe some Inquisitor for real retroness. Maybe, actually, maybe. I'm excited to try these things out, so. Dark Heroic. Matt, what do you think about the Dark Eldar? I don't like them. I don't like their fluff. You know, the whole enslaving people and doing nasty things to them. And there's some models that are questionable. Don't like those. Iron Zogs. I've seen an eBay store model here in my hometown. That's fine. I'm just not interested in doing that. Riddick, Matt, have you guys considered doing Rogue Trader / Deathwatch? Is that an RPG or is that an actual miniature game? Fredley, do you expect with this whole closing of the store that you'll get a massive influx of vault members, or do you only expect a small change? Well, you can see yourself. If you go to miniwargaming.com/free DVDs, we're doing a massive sale right now, or a massive giveaway, and you can see how many people have taken it. It's very public, because we had 2,000 in total that we were giving away, and there are 760 left as of this moment, so that means we just had 1,200 people sign up for the vault. That's a lot. And you can compare it to the previous giveaways where we typically do like 300, or the really good ones are 600. So yeah, that's a big influx. We might increase to 2,000 if it runs out because If there's that many people wanting to support us, obviously we want to do that. I don't want to do too many because it devalues the DVDs a little bit. So, but we'll see. We'll see where that heads. Okay. KKL Reaper, I ordered from them once. It was a nightmare, and they ended up blaming me for their stupid mistakes and double charging for shipping. Huh, that's strange. Because the one thing that Games Workshop is good at doing with us is shipping. They get us stuff fast and usually quite accurate. Miso, do you think you're going to go into doing computer game videos, board game videos, and maybe weight loss videos, i.e. go into other forms of video entertainment? I don't know. Board games are always a possibility. I don't think I really want to do computer game ones, not because they wouldn't be lucrative, but because, I don't know, I've talked about this before. I don't want to necessarily promote the huge amount of gaming that people actually do. I'd rather promote the hobbies that require more social interaction. Not that computer games are bad. I play them. I love StarCraft 2, Heart of the Swarm. I've already beaten it twice, and I just love it. So it's just more, I just don't want to necessarily... It's promoted enough, let me just put it that way. These other ones are going to need more promotion. And then there's always the future of Dark Potential. If it takes off, then that'll be a whole other business model. Tyrella, do you see them really pulling distributor supplies, as has been said? I find this highly unlikely. Oh no, they'll definitely do it. Definitely they'll do it. Those are not empty threats. Hazard 30, can we still challenge you to bat reps? Yes, please do. The more players we have coming in here, then the more battle reports we can do, because if we have 2 employees making battle reports and they fight each other, that makes 1 battle report. If there's 2 people that come in, then we make 2 battle reports in the same amount of time. So the more people that challenge us, the more battle reports we can put out. Pilkey CRC, without the physical store, will you have to move premises? No. And I will answer the same questions more than once, because people are still coming on the show right now. So it's okay if you ask a question that was asked before. Mint Bloom, sorry, just joining in now. Will you be doing more of a Beasts of War / Tabletop Nation location? No, we're staying here. We're still going to work out of here. We need a lot of space for all our content production, and we're planning on just getting bigger with that. So this is a good place to stay for now. We might eventually get another premise, but the requirements for it will be less than what we needed before. Before we needed a place with a retail store, plus a warehouse, plus offices. That's hard to find, but now we just need offices with a bigger room for the warehouse. Kenadu, yeah, it kind of makes me want to make a second Vault account, lol. Well, that's awesome that you say that. Obviously, we're not going to ask you to do that, and I don't even think I even want you to do that, because it's you just being a Vault member is already awesome. So that's great. Thank you very much. Raven Zero cries because Matt hates non-Vault members. I don't hate non-Vault members. I love everybody who comes to our site. It's because even the non-Vault members, they're watching our videos, they're putting comments, they're liking it, they're sharing it, so that's spreading around and it'll grow our business too. So if you can't be in the Vault, that's okay. Just watch our videos, like them, add them to your favorites, share them. That is also an awesome way of supporting us. So let me just make that clear. Shotgun Jolly, what happens to the Gold Vault members and the perks of being a member? We'll be announcing more about that next week. We're working on a few things to make it worth your while to stay as a Gold Vault member. So, but it's still in the works, so I don't want to even hint at any of them yet. Rub7, how does it affect your gaming club? Will you still be selling products in store? We won't be selling products in store. How does it affect the gaming club? Obviously negatively, because a lot of them like to buy from us. There are a couple other stores nearby. They're smaller ones, but the customers can go there. We still probably will try to run a club, maybe not right away, but shortly after, with a combination of volunteers and the employees who are making battle reports can come in some of the evenings and do that. So we're going to try, and we'll have to kind of see where that's going. The Tomahawk Warrior. Did you already ask this question? Will you miss not having MiniWarGaming? I'm really sure you did. Yeah, you already asked that question, and I already answered it. I said we're not losing it, unless I'm just like so far behind in the comments that you asked it twice before I finally answered it. All right. Miso, do you think it's worth keeping a store just to give Vault members a discount to encourage membership? No. Magic Mega Man, will you miss all the fangirls? Yeah, there's tons of them. Tons of girls. I think 3% of our viewers are girls. Anyways. Trogdor! 10 years from now, if MiniWarGaming rises to great success, will you slowly transform into a blood-sucking lawyer corporation in your old age like a certain other Wargaming store franchise did? No names mentioned. I could be talking about anybody. Or will you stand as a beacon of what an awesome hobby business can be to its customers? I sure hope that we can do that. Not turn into the blood-sucking lawyer corporation, but that we can stand as a beacon of what an awesome hobby business can be to its customers. I like Privateer Press, I think, does a really good job. And there's other companies that do really good jobs too. So you have to understand that Games Workshop, they went public, which means they have to keep their shareholders happy, otherwise they get into trouble. And so that kind of limits them to some degree. So you have to kind of feel maybe a little bit sorry for them for that. But I don't know. You can also look at their financial reports and see that the CEO and the other people there are making a good income. So I don't know if I should feel sorry for them or not. Zachman, Matt, I have a question, not about your store, but about your advice. There's a tournament coming up at my store, and I was going to use a 10 Necron flyer list. Is this kind of mean to use, or is it okay to use? Well, it's probably mean and people won't like you. I would suggest going for something more competitive, not something more cheesy like that. Bringing like 3 flyers would be okay. Thane, Aquilin, their free shipping threshold raises all the time. Yes, but the last time I checked, it wasn't too high, so that's okay. Maddie Matto, will you still make videos regularly? Yes. If yes, which it is, will you ever start making Lord of the Ring strategy battle games or the Hobbit battle reports? Possibly. Now that we're not restricted to what we have to sell in store, the possibilities are endless. Iron Zogs, will you talk about the restriction to orders for independent retailers? I'm concerned it will affect my local stores. Well, the restrictions, they're basically Games Workshop puts their products in one of 2 categories. Their regular trade and their direct service, as they call it. Basically, all the popular items are in trade and the less popular items are in direct service, so that the less popular don't slow down the fast-moving ones, which is great. That's a great idea. And so when you order from trade, you can order once a week with the new policy and get free shipping if you spend at least $400. And that's great. I think that's very reasonable. Direct service, it's lower margins. They don't give you as much of a discount because it's more intensive for them to send it to you. That's fully understandable. However, recently they told me that they're capping how much you can buy from direct service and basically limiting what you could stock. There's 1,800 products in direct service. And their new releases often go directly to direct service, which means they're basically saying you can't buy the new products. And that is where the craziness is. And I can't believe that they would do that. But they did. So will it affect your local store? Well, yes. Yes. Depends how big your store is. If your store is huge, it'll affect it more. If it's smaller, it'll affect it less. Brockdorf, Finecast is only a temporary thing. They will, in the long run, only make plastic miniatures. Maybe. It depends on the technology of plastic miniatures. The reason they do metal and Finecast, not metal anymore, but Finecast, is because on the shorter run things, the things that you don't make as many of, it doesn't make sense to spend tens of thousands of dollars on a mold. That's why I think you'll probably always see that, unless the cost of mold production goes down. In which case, yeah, it could eventually become all plastic, which I wouldn't complain about. Sigma, do you think cheap 3D printers and scanners are scaring GW? Are they trying to maximize sales before models become a downloadable commodity? It is hard to predict the future of that. It seems the trend is that they'll be cheaper and cheaper. But I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, it's something that's going to be something they're worried about. But it might be a while before it can actually affect the market. Right now, it's not. It's too expensive. Way too expensive. So, in the future, could it be? Maybe. But right now, people can also make their own molds of the miniatures. I know it's a little harder than the 3D printing, but it'll be interesting to see what the future holds for that. It will be. Chip Hazard, as a follow-up, your numbers. How many have you sold so far, and how popular do you think it's going to get in the near future? Well, I don't know. It's hard to say how popular it's going to get because it's only starter sets right now. So we obviously did really well on our Kickstarter, or in our Indiegogo campaign. And we've done sales since then. Not as much as I would like, but I wasn't really expecting a lot of sales just because they're just starter sets. So the game isn't really fully out there yet. And I'm okay with that. I really am. Because by this point, a year ago, I had planned to just have 5 miniatures made and not even a game in place. And so with the fact that we have the beta rules so fleshed out and as many miniatures as we do, I'm more than happy to slow down and take a little longer because we need to focus our efforts on obviously the vault and the content production. So So future popularity, I think if it does become really popular, that it's going to take another couple of years because we still have to come up with more models. We still have to do the rule book, a lot of the story and lore, a lot of that needs to come out, and so we need to be able to afford to do all of that. So a lot of the stuff that you see written right now, the history and a lot of the ideas for the races is actually developed by, he's actually on the chat right now. His username is Trogdor, and he did a lot of the work for that. But the problem is we just don't have the capital to continue paying for that. And so we're going to be working on that in the future, though. We've already got some ideas, and we'll see where that goes. But right now, it just needs to be a slow growth. We need to take our time, not jump into it too fast, because that could actually put us out of business everywhere else that's actually strong. So, yeah, we'll see where that goes. Mint Bloom, this is why Games Workshop locally will continue to blow from our local Games Workshop Park Place. All right, quick announcement. The store will not be open Saturday. I had hoped to get someone to cover the store for me when I was gone. That will not be the case, so the store will not be open for Saturday. Sunday will be open as far as usual. Well, that's a whole other subject, whether they're one-man stores is a good idea or not. Crickslate, so I'm curious then, do you intend to rely solely upon Vault memberships? The answer is yes. We would like to then try working on other stuff too. Seems like an eggs in one basket thing. Actually, not really, because well, an eggs in one basket scenario is where your investment lies in one thing that could on its own collapse. But the Vault, you know, if Games Workshop went under, then we would see some loss in our Vault probably because we wouldn't be making 40K videos, maybe. But I don't know. I don't think it's an egg in all one basket thing. Either way, we're going to be working still on growing Dark Potential, so we'll see where that goes. Gomball face. Don't worry, Matt. I love you too. Just wish you did banter bat refs too. Maybe one day. Luda, so June 1st is the day you're closing. We haven't announced it yet. I actually don't have a date yet. It all depends on the sale and our liquidation. D Jester, why are you guys only going to be selling Dark Potential and magnets? I thought that was obvious with the video, just because we can't make money with the store, but we still need to have some presence for the Dark Potential and magnet stuff. Lost Boys, Matt, it angers me that MiniWarGaming has generated tons of revenue and exposure for Games Workshop, albeit indirectly, and they refuse to realize that. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Chris, what do you mean by liquidation sale? Well, see, right now we're having a sale, just you can get a discount on, and we'll actually order in the stuff that you buy. And once that sale is over, basically we'll just put everything on a discount, and we'll keep discounting it further and further until it's all gone. And that's what we mean by liquidation. Tyrell, I actually know someone that was at a higher level management with GW, and he told me that GW does not view their products as games, but more as collectibles, that they are like Pokemon, that people want the models to have them all. While they are collectibles, the game is a big part, obviously. Greenleaf Terrain, will you be ramping out Dark Potential more then? Yeah, I think I've answered that already. Now, it's okay because I'm like 50 comments behind, so it's okay if I'm coming across questions that I've already answered. Gumball Face, also, Matt, I tried getting the DVDs on the Vault membership. Whenever I click on what I want, it wants me to subscribe again. Am I doing something wrong? Maybe. It's possible that you're not linked to your Vault account. Email our support at miniwargaming.com, and they'll take care of you. Thane Aquilin, I've always been under the impression that the games 40K and Warhammer Fantasy are secondary to the models and painting and such. So, Spud Tate is linking to a video. Should I click it, or should I be worried? I'm gonna turn off what the speaker is inputting just in case. Oh, it's a live event. Very nice. Okay. Did you just post a link to your live event that's happening at the same time as my live event? That's funny. Okay, moving on. Magic Mega Man, will you do the War Machine RPG? Maybe. All these are maybes. Before I'd say nah, because we're not going to sell it, but now it's maybe. Okay. Duck L'Orange, Epic Duck Mike here, listening while I code away. Welcome, Epic Duck Mike. Jester's Court, I know a lot of local gaming stores get hit by Games Workshop all the time. Most around me don't keep items in stock. That's too bad, because it's a good game. Riddick Deathwatch is an RPG, but you could do like a highlights video. Yeah, we might do RPGs in the future. Shotgun Jolly, this severely hampers a lot of players in areas where there are no game stores of any type. When there is no local game support, it's harder to want to go buy something full price. Web stores like you made me get into gaming that much easier. And I get that, and they don't seem to. Cigar Bear. The good thing about Deathwatch is Dave could roleplay as Deafy. Dave could be Deafy. Oh wait, that might be dangerous. Luda, board games are really fun. I know, I love board games. Greylark, do you think GW dislike indie shops because they bring gamers into a world of other games and manufacturers? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking, to be honest. The problem is they're a manufacturer, there's a wholesaler, they're a distributor, and they are retailers. So they compete with everybody at every level. And so they can't help but look at an independent retailer and say, hey, that item you sold, if we had sold it, we'd make twice as much money. And while that's incorrect, it actually is incorrect, because the independent retailer might have sold an item that you might not have sold. So you could have made zero. So they could have made you infinitely more money than what you would have done. So that might be the way they're looking at it, though. Zach Man, I had just got a random Helldrake in the mail, and I didn't even order anything. Hey, that's pretty cool. Pilkey CRC, while GW sucks at dealing with the other retailers, they do actually have pretty good customer service directly from my experience. Yeah, no, the people working for Games Workshop are great, don't get me wrong. It's more the decisions at the top that aren't that great. Ikerkin, do you expect to produce more and more Dark Potential non-Games Workshop videos in the future? I already answered that. K-Big Drand, mini board game crossover games would be cool, or would be good. I do agree. Fear GFX, hey Matt, remember me and Spud from Chilling War Games? Our show goes live in 35 minutes, and we would really appreciate a shout-out. Well, there's your shout-out. Their show is going live in 35 minutes. Qbert Enhanced, would you consider going into historical wargaming? No. I have no interest there. Maybe one day we would, if we had enough employees that we could kind of like segregate a little group of them off and do historical gaming because they really want to. But no, I don't want to. Hazard 30, in that case, me and my friend will be seeing you this summer. Awesome. Jester's Court, well, with all the new games coming up because of Kickstarter, how does Games Workshop think this is a good move? Don't know. Chimp Hazard, okay, Matt, a StarCraft 2 fan, eh? Tyranids versus Zerg, who wins? Tyranids have the better fluff. The Zerg have the better models. Now, if you're actually asking who, if they fight, who wins, it's definitely the Tyranids, because the Zerg keep getting segregated amongst themselves, whereas Tyranids will fight as a whole. Darth Aztec, a little late to the show at work, but wanted to ask if MiniWarGaming will evolve into a YouTube version of G4 TV or an analogous to Epic Mealtime. I don't know, I hope so. That'd be kind of cool to get really big like that. Dark Heroic, is there coming a campaign of Warhammer 40k? Potentially. Scottish Tabletop Gaming, will you still be doing the affiliate program? Well, there won't be anything really to be an affiliate for. We might create an affiliate program for the Vault, so people can actually, like, if you send a referral to the Vault, then you can actually collect a percentage of what they pay for as long as they stay a member. So we might be doing that in the future. Fredley, oi Matt, do you have a garden at home? I have a flower garden, and I am planning on starting a vegetable garden once it gets warmer, in May, basically. Luda, Matt, will you go back to your StarCraft casting this time, take more seriously? No, probably not. It would be fun too, but I've talked about that already. I don't really want to. Brought Sorrow, I'm coming in tomorrow for a Warhammer Fantasy Bat Rep with Owen. Any idea what he might be fielding? Well, if he brings his Dark Eldar, then all I have to do is watch one of the previous battle reports, and he'll bring exactly the same thing. If he decides to take something else, then I'm not sure. No cast. So the physical store is not just the web store is shutting down. Correct. Black Maginate. Hey Matt, are you guys going to be at Abducticon next month? No, we are not. Kev Killer, Matt, stop yelling at non-vault members. I'm sorry. Sorry. Thane Aquilin. Just curious, why have you guys never moved to a bigger city? I can answer that before going any further. It's because of family ties. I was born and raised here. My parents are here. I like to stay near with my parents for my kids' sake. Dave's parents are here. His wife's parents moved here. Like, there's just so much family around here that it would be hard to leave for that reason. So we don't really have a desire to. And now we don't need to. So it's great. Tech Solditin, are there any ways the gaming community can support your efforts to bring new games to the market besides just buying miniatures? Well, you can't buy miniatures. The more Vault members we have, the more money we'll have, and more content producers we can afford. The real issue is having enough people making videos. That's really what it comes down to. If we only have one person making videos, then we got to focus on 40k battle reports. That's it. That's the most popular. As we add more people, we can cover those games enough that we can start using other people to do other things. And so the more video producers we have, the more other games we can start to cover. So how can you have a direct impact on this? Well, it's by simply becoming a Vault member. If you are a Vault member, we have more revenues, which definitely means that we will have more video producers. And if we have more video producers, then we can cover more games. That's really all it comes down to. Mirror Pocket, what will happen to Dave's chaotic gifts and prizes on Shrine of Chaos? I don't know, Dave. What will happen to your prizes and gifts on Shrine of Chaos? Yes.
Still have them.
He'll still have them. They might change form, for all we know, but we'll see.
Yeah, Korn was in charge of it at first. Now it's Siege, so he's the changer of ways. They may be a little different, but they're still going to exist.
How's your game going?
You're doing your show, aren't you?
Sure am.
15 minutes early?
No, 45 minutes early.
Wait, you started too?
Yeah.
Oh. I shall leave you to it.
No, you don't have to.
Oh, okay.
Are you on a break?
Yeah, just doing a break right now. How many viewers are you at?
200, 300.
Holy freak. That's awesome.
I sent an email out to everybody.
Oh.
That's not really fair.
Yeah, that's called cheating.
Dave thinks it's a competition. Whoever gets the most viewers.
It's not a competition. It's okay.
It's not?
No. Because I won.
All right, next question. I'm just going through questions here.
On slow mode, no doubt.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, can I do? Well, Matt, I'll make you a promise instead then. I'll start saving up now, and maybe earlier next year I'll have enough saved up to do a massive challenge week with you guys. 1 week, 3 challenges a day. You betcha. You get down here, we can get a lot of games done in a day, especially with all the different employees. Captain Cuckoo. I'm from England and have just signed up to your vault for support. Big fan of yours. Keep up the amazing content you produce. Much love, Peter / Captain Cuckoo. Awesome, Captain Cuckoo. We do appreciate that. We really do. Bradley 0999. Is this more to focus on Dark Potential or because of your reduced GW margins? It's actually more to focus on the vault. It's actually very little to do with Dark Potential. Dark Potential is a side project and will continue to be a side project until it's bigger. And then it'll become more a forefront project. And we'll see where we go with that. All right. Chemic7777. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I would to see more Dark Potential out tanks and other vehicles. I would like to see more fundraisers for Dark Potential. That's great. I'd love to hear that. Everyone getting you with pies was awesome. Even more epic and awesome than Dave getting hit by paintballs. Well, it would have been more epic if he hadn't hidden his pain. So I was disappointed in that. I was. I wanted to see him squeal. Oh, he was hurt. He just was trying to man it up, which I wanted to see him squeal like a little girl.
You would have done it. You would have manned up.
I don't know. I think I would have. I don't think I would have held back. You really think I'd have shame in that area? If you honestly can think that if you shot me with 10 paintballs and I was ready for it, that I wouldn't scream?
I can picture you screaming.
Yeah, I would totally scream because it would feel good to scream. Yeah, you'd get much more enjoyment, but you're not going to do it. Jester Court, so you start covering other indie game developers like those getting made through Kickstarter? Most likely. We have the opportunity now to. So what we'll actually do will just depend on what the future holds. We'll see. McDark Beer. Maybe you could just sell hobby supplies and Dark Potential to keep your club going. Yeah, we really just need to focus fully on the vault. That's really what it comes down to. Magic Mega Man, ahahaha. He answered my question. What, do you not think I actually answer my questions on my Q&A? This is called Q&A. For a reason, all right? It's not just Q. It's not just Q. See, if it was me not answering questions, that's what it would be. It would just be Q, like from Star Trek. But it's not. It's Q. It's like Q&A, like from the Sit and Talk show. See, now forever you'll have that in your mind. Whenever you hear Q&A, you'll think live Sit and Talk, and you'll be disappointed when it's not. Anyways, okay. Deadhead, not anymore. All the new battle forces in the UK actually cost same as separate. Really? Oh, I thought they were still a bit of a discount. Krolinks, I am saddened by this happening. What are your plans for MiniWarGaming videos and bat reps? I will miss you guys. I wish I could help. Plans, obviously you came on later in the show and that's okay, are that we're going to continue to do them and actually probably do more of them, including battle reports. You wish you could help? Well, if you want to help, then all you have to do is join the vault. which has never been a better time to do it. Go to miniwargaming.com/free DVDs right now. We're doing a massive 14 DVD giveaway for those who join the vault. Biggest bribe we've ever done. Biggest enticement. Whatever. Ethical bribe. Dark Heroic, can we send you money? You sure can. And you know how you want to send us money? By joining the vault. Gorks, Matt, do you think it is wrong to buy Chinese-made Warhammer? Yes. No matter what Games Workshop does, doing something illegal does not make it better. That's just what it comes down to.
What if it's a Games Workshop in China?
Well, if it's Games Workshop's products, like by them, made in China, then that's okay. But I don't think that's what he was asking.
Hey, that's what it sounds like to me.
And Nanaki, no, we don't support Chinese people, right? Right? We have something against them. Dave's half Chinese, and so I half support him. I'm just joking. I love Chinese people. I love Chinese food. I know I'm not digging a hole for myself. This is what happens on every show. I say something that somebody will construe as racist.
So it's not just me. It's like 300 other people. Okay.
Yeah, it's not just you. No, I love Chinese food. Honestly, so good. Not like buffet Chinese food. That's okay. But it's like getting Taco Bell and saying you love Mexican food. It's just not the same.
I love how that's the part you're clarifying, not the fact that you just hate Chinese people.
I love Chinese people. I never said I hate Chinese people.
You just said it.
No, Chinese food is actually really good. Ugh.
No,
you know what's the problem? I'm hungry right now, so now I want Chinese food.
Want some tuna?
No, I've got some.
Okay. Matt loves Chinese people.
Nanaki, what exactly? That do actually. Why exactly did they go to find? It's those others I don't like. All those white guys.
The other 5 billion people.
Yeah. Well, you know, I read a quote just today. Was it Abraham Lincoln that said, "God must love the common man because he made so many of them." And then I heard a quote today that says that he must love Asian people because he made so many of them. Yeah, must be true.
I feel loved.
Yeah. And that was actually by somebody from our church, from Elder Oaks.
Really?
He said that. I think it's great because he meant it in sincerity. He wasn't saying it to mock Asian people. Anyways, Nanaki says, why exactly did they go Finecast? I personally have yet to receive a Finecast model that isn't plagued with flaws and holes. I miss the old plastic. Well, they didn't go from plastic to Finecast. They went from metal to Finecast, which was a good move, kind of, maybe. I like the Finecast models. You like the Finecast models, right? Do you find out you have problems with them all the time?
I don't really assemble or paint miniatures, so...
Gotta love it, eh? The owners of MiniWarGaming are like, somebody else can do our models. We're just gonna play and make videos. We're gonna do the fun part.
I haven't actually assembled any fine... Well, no, that's not...
I have.
No, I have.
And for the most part, I haven't had problems.
There's
been
had problems with the ones I've had.
minor things here and there, but the metal had minor things here and there too, so... Napa and Matt, is the RIP shirt on purpose? It wasn't actually. It was the shirt on the top of my dresser. Seriously, my wife folds the clothing after she does the laundry, and then she puts it in my dresser, and I open it up, and I just pull out the top shirt. You're laughing because I said my wife does the laundry.
That's
like
right,
that's some sexist thing to say. Why is it? I'm very grateful that she does the laundry.
I don't even have to talk.
You made the face. You made the face. For the record, I make dinner like every night, almost. And when I don't, we get takeout. So it's all right.
Not only does she do your laundry, you're calling her a bad cook. Wow, what the heck?
No, she's a great cook. I just like cooking more than she likes cooking.
She's a good baker, man.
Yes, unfortunately. That's what stops me from losing the last 15 pounds. Okay, whoa, here we are. Miso, what was the salary for the GW CEO? Couldn't find it online. You can go, okay, I'm going to tell you how to find it rather than saying it. Well, maybe I'll say it too. I think it was roughly $400,000 or $500,000. Which, you know, that's not crazy for a $200 million a year company. You can find it by going to Games Workshop, and at the bottom of this page it says Investor Relations. You click on that, and then on the right side it shows the year-end reports. And get a full year-end, not the half year. And you can scroll down and find where it actually talks about the executive salaries, because they have to disclose that because they're a public company. So I don't think that he makes too much. Just for the record, I have nothing wrong with. I find nothing wrong with that. I hope one day to be making $500,000 a year. Wouldn't you? Would you like to make $500,000 a year, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice. So.
Man, I have the biggest chaos army if I had that.
You wouldn't need to. The company would provide that. Okay. Whoa.
I'd build myself
I'm getting so many comments here. I'm actually losing some of them. So I apologize. Don't repeat your comment because I'm so far behind that you'll probably just get it answered anyways. Crolinks. So McDarkbeer says it was the only clean shirt. That's not true. Not yesterday or today. Crolinks. So being in Canada, you can't sell the U.S. Correct. Have you thought about opening a store inside the U.S.? Yes. Don't want to do it. Iron Zog. So my local store won't be able to sell Tau Eldar Tyranids when those release because they'll likely be direct and direct is capped. No, it's only like 1 or 2 models are direct. Like the things that don't sell as much. The Tomahawk Warrior. Sorry about asking my earlier question twice. It's okay. I'm used to having to ask the same question 30 times on any other live stream before it is answered. Have you given any thought to... Not on mine. I actually go through all of them. Have you got any thought to starting another 40k army, and what might it be? Well, I started a Necron one a little while back. Another one?
Like a year ago?
Yeah, I guess it was like a year and a half ago. Another one? I don't know. If I start another one, I think I would start Tau. They're still coming out. Oh, come on. They're not... In jest, we said we should make a video saying that it's because of the new Tau releases that we decided to close the store. That would be funny. But the Tau actually looked pretty cool, and they're one I've always wanted to try. So, Shotgun Jolly and everyone thought the Mayan calendar was about the end of the world. They were almost right. No, Mayan calendar was about the end of MiniWarGaming selling Games Workshop products. They really predicted that quite far back. Kev Killer, I'm sorry, Matt. The first time I ever use a store to order something is the day you said you were closing the stores. Sorry for my bad luck. It's your fault. You placed that order, and I was like, shoot! He ordered from us! Quick, close the store! Wow. I'm going to have to scroll down a bit because I'm getting so many. I'm skipping a few questions. I apologize. The Bloody Gamers, because of this GW situation, does that mean we will not see anyone starting a Tau army or doing anything 40k related? No, that does not mean that. We will definitely still be supporting 40k products. Darth Aztec, while this may be a long way off, with the initial success of Dark Potential, do you see yourself developing a fantasy line? I hadn't even thought of that. That would be kind of cool, though, but hadn't thought about it.
There's mutants and monsters.
That'd be kind of cool.
Talk about the alternate.
Dark Heroic, are you only going to talk about Games Workshop? I am only going to answer questions, which happen to all be about Games Workshop. Nappin just got an email that my order is shipped. That's awesome. How about some dystopian wars there? Even a Canadian faction. Maybe. Virtual on Mars, so you're not selling War Machine Horde stuff anymore too. Correct.
That's Mario.
Oh, is it? Scary, Scary Mushroom. What will happen to your website? Where will you host your videos? None of that will change. So, Mint Bloom. Shoots and ladders, bat rep?
No.
That'd be kind of fun.
We should do a bunch of like goofy stuff.
All right, so I'm going to answer all the current questions that are saying, are you going to do other games? The answer is, now we can. I don't know which ones we'll do, but we'll see in the future. So now I can skip all those questions because there's a lot of them. Night TC, will you all have to get other jobs, or will MiniWarGaming still sustain the wages? Oh no, we're going to be fine. Unfortunately, a few people that only worked store-related stuff lost their jobs, but everybody else will not see any effect. Metamati, GWCO makes $400,000 a year. Okay, that's what it is. It's pretty good. Jester Court, will you start covering other indie game? Now remember, before we go on, the CEO is also the guy who was like 55% shareholder. So, yeah, I think $400,000 a year is fine.
You got a vested interest.
Yes. I already answered that. We're going to stay in the same location, so that answers all those questions. Getting some lag. No, we're not dropping, so it's not our end. If you're getting lag, it's your end. Not that I'm pointing fingers. It's your end, not ours.
You're picking like 300 people's noses. No! Nah! Nah!
That's 300 boogers. And some of them aren't so nice.
So that's what a snot ball is.
All right. Sigma, do you think GW problems stem from the difference in population density between North America and Europe? Do they understand that distance gamers need to travel to a good Games Workshop store? That's possibly a little factor. I doubt that's the main factor, though. Miso, why don't you ever take mercenaries with Kador? I don't know. Tucker, will the live shows continue? Yes. Okay. Grundy, are you guys going to still do challenges without the $50 prize? Yeah, we'll probably have to drop the prize or figure out some other way around it because obviously we don't have anything to give for the prize.
I'm going to reinstate pie plate challenges.
Yeah, there's pie plate. We could always do that again, yeah. Ask a fan, just join the vault. Can we switch levels? Yep. Just email customer support and they'll walk you through that process. Shotgun Jolly, so is the future MiniWarGaming being a game club with a few gamer celebrities doing online vids and stuff? No, the future is that we're going to have lots of video producers. Eventually, we're going to have 300 video producers making videos about wargaming.
And they're all going to be Spartans.
And they're going to be Spartans. That's right. They're going to be buff. They're all going to have to work out in order to work here. That'll become the requirement. You have to be strong. That was just an arbitrary number. It's because there's over 300 people on the show right now.
Matt, you should flex your arms again. That was very impressive.
No.
Everyone wants you
to. I'll leave that to you.
Everyone wants you to.
No, that's what you do in your videos.
Actually, I don't.
Yeah, whatever.
Because people bug me to.
You sit there, you're just like, yep, destroy the chaos. That's how Nick was in one of his videos. Nick, if you're watching this, in his last video, he was standing there like this as he was doing the video. And I'm like, you've got big arms. You don't have to make them look bigger. Spudtate, who's that sexy man behind you? Is that cat food? Right. And to answer all the questions about the gold membership, we're going to announce more about that hopefully next week about what we're going to do with that. We'll take good care of you, one way or another. Now everybody's saying, hey, Dave. That's how far behind the comments I am.
Oh, wow. 20 minutes.
Okay. Maybe, okay, but that's not fair. That's one huge carrot. Yeah, see, we're pretty far behind. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Sorry for everybody who posted comments. I'm skipping to the bottom. So if I have not answered your question as of 3 seconds ago, because that's about the lag here, you can repost it. It's in slow mode, so we should be all right. Tobthertron, Dave, why do we rarely see your Warriors of Chaos anymore?
Don't make fun of them because they're invisible.
No, I do not want to restart my computer. Not yet. Will lifetime vault membership still be honored? Sure. We'll still have a vault. Are you guys going to Valhalla soon? Asked Kelly. We'll be going in October.
21st to 26th.
Tyrella, in the 2011 to 12 report, they listed 3 dividend payouts, so that listed salary is nothing. Yeah, their dividends would be nice. What is this? Turbo. Oh, he's a Turbo member. The first Legion is a Turbo member for X or for Twitch. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Will you sell T-shirts still? Probably. We might do it through like Spreadshirt or something, but we'll see. Trogdor, about the questions about 3D printing a million years ago. I sort of work with 3D printing. I think you have years and years before 3D printing models become cheap enough. But when it does, that will be a huge boon for MiniWarGaming. You guys will be able to use the community to make 3D models for you. That's kind of cool. Some people in the forums already did this. In fact, that plays right into your best strengths. MiniWarGaming can print the good models made by users and sell them. Nerds will be honored to let you do that. You know it's true. While Games Workshop will probably do everything they can to resist and fall behind, probably even try to sue anybody who tries the 3D model of Warhammer 40k Orc. MiniWarGaming embraces and engages community in a way that nobody else does. You embrace and use the internet, while GW tries to pretend it can be stopped. Guess how that will go? Well, it'll go the same way that Blockbuster and Netflix went. Blockbuster refused to use online. Netflix said, hey, let's use online. Now Blockbuster is, yeah, well, we know that story. Rawrex, who does the yelling intro to battle reports? Dave, would you care to demonstrate?
Okay.
As you get the leftover carrot in your mouth.
MiniWarGaming's beat Matt Batrap!
Dave does. Because nobody does it like Dave. Does Dave like the new Tau? Yeah. Yes, he loves the new Tau. He's in love with them. He's going to collect them. He's going to take them and kiss them and be like, I love you, Tau. It's true. He told me. He didn't want me to tell you that, but it's true. 7-Foot Cowboy, what was your favorite childhood TV show? I don't know. I don't remember. I liked Star Trek Next Generation when I was a teenager. So. Okay. Rubs is Dave eating tau in a can? Yes, he was eating tuna. Irish Joe. Hey, Joe. Hey, Dave. Miss you. Joe Todd here. Miss you too, Matt. But talked to you on the phone the other day. Awesome. Cool to see you on the show. Yes, we'll still have the building, Grundy. We're not going to be stocking anything new. If it's not on our site right now, it will not be added. Creed, what next for your NIDs if updated in June? I don't know. I haven't actually kept up to date with that, so I don't know what they're coming out with. Pilkey CRC, what is happening to the Overseer? Which one's the Overseer again? Zuav Captain, have you guys considered running any contests to fly in someone for a weekend of bat reps? That would be kind of cool. Expensive, but cool. Well, maybe, we'll see. Askus fan, does Mantic have a shot at GW? Obviously, yes. But they started off as we're the cheap brand, which was a good idea, actually. That was a good marketing thing. Because you instantly grab a big part of the market. Do they ever stand a chance of making models as good as Games Workshop? Well, sure, they could. Their models have improved. So yeah, no, they definitely do. They make some mistakes, too. I don't like how they actually hold sales. Because they constantly compete with their retailers. And that's obviously not a good thing. Right. Jester Court, will you be accepting videos from us still? Yeah, none of that changes. Red Dragon, Matt, will it just be Dark Potential magnets you sell, or will you also be selling paint brushes and other hobbies? Right now, just Dark Potential magnets. Maybe we'll add stuff over time, but that's not the plan right now. All right. And so to answer the questions about whether we expand to other games, the answer is now we can. We don't have any plans as of this moment, but we do plan on doing it. Brockdorf, does it happen that you and Dave or Dan come into the store, work with the same t-shirt? It does happen sometimes. Not as often as you would think. The Bloody Gamers, Matt or Dave, will either of you start a Tau army, or has a GW thing stopped you collecting? No, we're still going to collect. Will we start a Tau army? Probably not. Owen does Tau, so we'll probably see him with new Tau stuff. Roboxley, hey Matt and Dave, if I subscribe to the Vault, will you do more bat reps with Ultramarines, please? LOL. Possibly. Can't promise it. All right. Chaplain Rob, time to turn down the speakers. Yeah. Oh, and Dave talks like that. Yeah, of course. Marigold B, Matt, have you ever checked out the Mistborn RPG? Also, will you ever do bat reps and or painting tutorials for Infinity? I didn't know they had an RPG. I love the Mistborn series. Will we do for Infinity? The answer is definitely yes. When? I don't know. Hopefully soon. Crawlinks, why would you not want to start a store in the US? Because we want to focus on the Vault. We don't want to start another part of the business that's going to take a lot of capital to get started. You have to understand, when you start a store, it sounds easy, but you have to put in tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars into your inventory. I'd rather put that money into making the Vault better. Delta Commando, I'm going to repeat my question because I really want to know, and I want to support you if you guys do. Are you guys selling a new Tau model still? No. Because they'll probably come out after we're finished ordering stuff, but we'll see. So the reason, a lot of people are asking, why don't you sell other stuff other than Games Workshop? The Games Workshop was a huge portion of our sales. Now you might think, well, that was foolish, but we just didn't really have a choice because it took so much of our investment, and that we're trying to grow the Vault at the same time. Now, I'm not trying to say it's Games Workshop's fault. Not at all. The store just wasn't viable for us. It might be viable for other people. In fact, it is. There's other stores out there that do very well with it, and they can continue to do well. So that's great, but we don't want to. We want to do the Vault. We want to make more videos. That's what we're really good at. So that's what we want to keep doing, and keep doing it better. There's lots of other good stores out there. So that part, everybody will find somewhere else to buy. Unfortunately, with this new you can't buy from the States thing if you're in Canada, that will mean that you have to spend a bit more money, but hopefully you can find some alternative. Will this affect Apocalypticon at all? Asked Pointy Stick, and the answer is no, absolutely not. We're still going to do it. Scottish Tabletop Gaming, what are your thoughts on the new Star Wars film? I am looking forward to it. Will it be good? No idea. George Lucas isn't writing it, so that gives it a definite plus. Chesty Lorax, cake or candy? Definitely cake. Drewski, I know you're getting close with Badger. Any chance you might sell their miniature paints along with magnets and DP stuff? Probably not. Doesn't mean we won't promote it. SJ Wims or Swims, Jordan is the Overseer. Oh, I see. Overseer is Jordan. Well, unfortunately, Jordan was one of the employees in the store, so kind of put 2 and 2 together there. Dark Heroic, did you like the movie The Hobbit? I did. I really did. I enjoyed it. Red Dragon, how about Mantic stuff? I just bought a crap load of that stuff from you. Well, if you bought it from us, then we definitely had it in stock, and you will get it after that. We are clearing it, so if you like Mantic stuff and Spartan stuff, well, you can get it at a nice discount right now. It's 30% off, and whatever doesn't sell will keep going further and further into discount. Tyrella, not trying to beat a dead horse, but Tim Kirby is listed as having a 1.9 million shares, total of 63 pence. Dividend per share is 1.2 million in payout. Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Hopefully that doesn't mean he's just cashing out to leave. Sure looks like the way, though. Sid October, hey Matt, any word on a release for the Salvagers? Nope, no word. Thane McQuillan, I would compete to fly out. Of course he would. Who wouldn't? That would be fun. Darth Sector. Since I just got into the game, it is completely against the rules to have an army of Death Company, with Astrogoth to remove the cap on how many you can have. I don't know. I don't know Blood Angels that well. Magic Mega Man. I wish I could do a bat rep with you guys, even have an army, but I don't know how to play. Lep, why not sell board games? I already kind of covered that. One-tailed raccoon. If you could get one message across to the people at Games Workshop, what would it be? That they cannot stop the future. That things change, the way you sell changes, and you need to change with it or go out of business. I don't want them to go out of business, despite what everybody might think. I want them to prosper, because as they prosper, the market can grow even faster. The more businesses within a market that prosper, the faster that market will grow, which will benefit all the other businesses as well. Especially ours, because we cover all the games. So I don't even, like Dark Potential, that's fine. Like that's not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the videos we make and the vault and all of that. That's the message. You can't just say, we have currency exchange problems, so rather than fix that, let's just make it so they can't sell to each other. Oh, the online sales are taken away from our retailers, so let's shut off online sales. You can't do that and survive. It's I don't know. It's just not going to work. It's going to hurt them in the long run, definitely. Randomizer, does the terms affect Europe? Well, they had these terms already, except that they can't prevent online selling in Europe because of anti-monopoly laws. But they did already put the embargo that they can't sell, that they can't ship to other countries. Tabatron, seeing you guys play Dungeons & Dragons would be fun. That's true. TT Aberis, hey, I'm trying to get people in Dark Potential. What do you think is the best way to do this? Have a couple armies. Just like you would any other game. You'd have a couple armies already painted, and that way you can demo it for them. McDarkbeer, yeah, there's a store in Vancouver that sells only board games and some minis. They managed to turn a profit too. Starlit Citadel. It's great. The Bloody Gamers, will you be doing any Lord of the Rings stuff? Collecting, making battle reports. Same answer for every other game. We definitely now have the possibility of doing that. How is that for a straight answer? Chaplain Rob, they have an awesome sale, answering T. Tiberius, they have an awesome sale on right now, whole army for $100, 2 starters and some extra stuff. Yeah, if you want to get into it, now's the time. $100 will get you a 400-point army, which is pretty much all you need right now. Like, you buy that, and you've pretty much got all you want. You might want to buy some more squads, just so you have the option between solos and squads, but... Tyrella, what is your interpretation about no internet affecting store, taking phone or email orders? Well, since 2003, online sales have been banned in the States, and they've been allowed to do mail order. So I would assume at this point that that is allowed, but who knows? They might stop that too. Shotgun Jolly, changing the topic, what mini paint do you recommend to use? We use a bit of all of them. We like Games Workshop paints in certain ways. We like Reapers for certain things. Vallejo is obviously very popular. So just whatever. Red Dragon, Matt, who is your best friend after Dave? And saying your wife doesn't count. Well, obviously she's before Dave. I don't know. Dave and I are pretty close friends. I don't have a lot of, like I have a lot of acquaintances. Like, I go to church, and a lot of people I know there, and I'm good friends with a lot of them, but I wouldn't say there's best friends. So it's... I don't think there is a best friend after Dave. Thavian, what happens to use store points? Well, use them during the sale. And then you can use them for Dark Potential and Magnets afterwards. And we're probably going to then turn off the store points program. Not erase the ones that you already have, but probably stop having a collection of them. What's happening to the local club? It's shutting. The store is shutting down. We might be able to run a club. We'll talk about that later. Will Dark Potential, asked Riddick, have the 40k equivalent of HQs? If yes, yeah, they have the commanders. Will there maybe be a contest to write the fluff of one? Or do you mean like special characters? Maybe eventually. Mad Cow Crazy, can't you have a final Tau sale for us who have been waiting for them and love MiniWarGaming? at this point we can't say yes to that just because we're going to be finishing our sale before that, and we're going to be liquidating at that point. Tech Soldaten, is MiniWarGaming open to private investment? I'd say not really, because at this point we won't need it. See, if we were trying to run the store, then private investment might have been a part of that, but I don't know. You can always email me, Matthew@miniwargaming.com, if you have a proposal of sorts, but not really looking for that right now. Dark Heroic, Matt, I tried to download Army Builder, but it didn't work. Any idea why? Nope. You should contact their support. Solananel, will you be playing Relic? Maybe. Fishy Swass. Now, what happened to Dark Potential Battle Report episode 7? 8 is out in the vault, but not 7. That was uploaded later. It's going to get posted today still. It just got uploaded after 8, unfortunately. Zachman, do we do Skype battle reports? No. Trogdor, apropos fantasy, have you read Brandon Sanderson's book Elantris? What do you think? I've read all of Brandon Sanderson's books except for the Wheel of Time ones that he wrote. I love them all. Elantris is probably my least favorite out of all of them, but I did like them. The Way of Kings, oh, my favorite book in the entire world. It's the best book I've ever read. Crow Links, we have anti-monopoly laws as well here in the US. Does Canada not have this? Well, every country has anti-monopoly laws. Europe has anti-monopoly laws that prevent a manufacturer from stopping a retailer selling online. The States and Canada clearly do not have this. And Samuel Cortez, how will this affect the videos that are made? Is it going to limit them? No, it's actually going to make them explode. We're going to be able to make more because we'll be able to take all that investment that was in the store that's going to be cashed out because we're liquidating and put it into making more videos. So if anything, this is going to be awesome for our videos. Pilkey, European stores can sell to other countries, but they must be within the EU. Yes, of course. So it's still limited. Creed, what next on eBay from you? No plans. Chaplain Rob, last time it was used was against Microsoft. Oh, Crowlinks. Last time it was used was against Microsoft. Looking at how Apple has grown, it's fair to say that the law no longer has teeth. Brockdorp, did GW make any restriction on which games you could make bat reps of? No. And they can't really. It's all under fair use. I think that would be really a bonehead move. It's one thing to say we want sales for ourselves. It's another thing to say we don't want you promoting our hobby. Luke, why is MiniWarGaming so awesome? I think the reason for that is because we just love what we do. Asisk fan, will GW kill mail order next? I wouldn't be surprised, because why not? If they don't want you to do online sales, if they want you to go into your store, then mail order is obviously going to be a target for them too. Brought Sorrow, since you're not holding your phone, is a tiger coming back? Oh shoot. Maybe. I better get the phone. Chesty Lorox, Chesty LaRue. Where in the nursery rhyme does it say Humpty Dumpty is an egg? That's true, it doesn't. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. That's true. That's deep, man. That's deep. Tyrella, does the $100 army deal for Dark Potential include the rules? Nope, because the rules are available for free online at darkpotential.com. There's no actual physical book yet. Adam of Earth, if MiniWarGaming would start doing review-type podcasts, what would you like to do? Games, movies, etc. How about miniature war games? I know it's strange. Scottish Tabletop Gaming, have you considered getting into painting commissions? Oh, we've thought about it, but if we ever did, it would be a long time from now. We'd rather just promote ones like Blue Table Painting and Worthy Painting. Mixil, I just want to say MiniWarGaming did get me into Warhammer 40k, but Beardy Dan made me start Orcs. That's awesome. Swims, whatever happened to Dan's Hour of Wa? We'll be talking more about that next week. Rorix, is Dave doing Shrine tomorrow and the scheduled time is still accurate? It should be. TJS Carrot, sorry Matt, would love to stay and hang out, but need to go cook. No problem. I'm actually getting pretty hungry too. One-tailed raccoon, when does the final sale end? I haven't decided. I was going to kind of let it ride out until it died off, and then I'd give it like 2 more days, which gets another spike at the end because all the procrastinators. So it'll probably be about a week. Probably next week sometime. Leap, how would you describe your crowdfunding experience, and do you think that bigger companies are corrupting the concept, turning crowdfunding into a risk-free pre-order? My experience was crazy. I didn't expect to do as much as we did, and it was exhilarating and stressful and awesome and horrible and great and terrible, and glad that it happened in the end. Do I think the bigger companies are corrupting it? No, I think that they're just going to help evolve it into something else. It is kind of weird when it's like crowdfunding and you get this established retailer who's like, or established manufacturer who's like, hey, crowdfunding for our new board game. It's basically a pre-order, as you say. I don't think they're corrupting it, though. If anything, they're going to get more exposure for it. So that's good. Like, think about it. You put a Kickstarter campaign up, and then like these huge corporations do too, and they drive a ton of traffic there. And then those people that are driven there learn about Kickstarter, and they start looking around for other projects. So I think it'll actually help in the long run. All right. Grundy, what happened to Chris's live show? I don't know. You have to ask. Dave. Deadhead, just keep doing what you're doing. I think it's great. I love the entertainment. Well, thank you. Dark Heroic, Matt, did you ever play with Eldar? Meaning me being Eldar or actually playing against Eldar? I played against Eldar plenty. Chaplain Rob, if you can, get a friend to go in with you and just play a game between the two of you. Okay, I see you're answering somebody else's question. Okay, Darth Sector. Thanks for answering my question. That was my water. Hate that you're closing. What's better, Death Arc or Doom Arc? Death Arc or Doom Arc? As Necrons are my second army. What is a Death Arc? Doomsday Arc. What's a Death Arc? GW question, they sound like they're behind the times. I agree. No one but them can do online sales. Yeah, definitely behind. Sounds like they're trying to be a monopoly. Yep. Or not smart enough to know they're hurting themselves. Of course. I have a game store, Geekers, and I wouldn't carry Warhammer just because of cost of product being in Alabama. I can't carry high cost stuff due to economy in the area. 7 Foot Cowboy, Matt, do you care at all about college basketball March Madness? Absolutely not. Fabian, will you ever see a campaign style series? Yeah, I hope so. Galamir, will you still be producing DVDs then? Yes. Thanakillian, sorry if you answered this. If I had to step away from a comp, does anyone there collect Imperium factions? Well, Dave has Blood Angels. And we have an Imperial Guard army. Umbrian, Matt, what do you think of the new Chaos Demons, especially the combo of Chaos Feetwaver plus Grimoire of True Names, 2++ free roll saves? I don't know. I haven't actually played against them, so I can't say. Red Dragon, do you think Games Workshop will make the bonehead move of trying to put the Banhammer on eBay? Well, they can't. They can't prevent somebody from selling a used model. They can't legally stop me from selling their models online. All they can do is stop providing me with the models. And so, yeah, I don't think they could. Chesty LaRue, why does Goofy stand on 4 legs when Pluto stands on all 4? They are both dogs. Do you have like a website you're reading from that's like deep stuff that you never thought of and that doesn't matter? .com. Polo Loco, are you looking for any artists to do illustration work for Dark Potential? Sure, send me an email, Matthew@MiniWarGaming.com with your portfolio. Always interested. King Gribbly, when Dark Potential comes out, will there be a lot more armies come out in the future? We have plans for 6, so yes. Kev Killer, heard what is happening with Dan over the summer. Sad to see it. Hint, hint. Maverick, it is accurate as I will be on the Shrine of Chaos tomorrow. Yes, so it is accurate. Tempest Angel, hey Matt, just wondering, can you name the person who cut your hair? Her name was... The place I go is called the Barber's Chair in St. Catharines, the Penn Center. The name of the lady was M. Normally I get Jeff or Dominic to do it, but this time neither of them were there. So I guess somebody else. Muriel, something like that. Anyways, I'm not sure if that was a useful answer or not. Shirty, what is your take on having a job that you love versus one that is just a job but pays better or has more opportunities? A job is there to provide for you and your family. Having a job you love is a bonus. That's what it comes down to. We do this. I started this business not because I loved wargaming, but because it looked like an opportunity to build a business that could make us money. We happen to also love wargaming, so it's just a plus. All right, Pilkey, CRC, at Chaplain Rob, the antitrust law still has teeth in the US. The thing is, Apple isn't in the same position. They don't have a monopoly in any market. Exactly. See, they're coming in and they're actually scooping up some of the market that Microsoft has. It's also not against the law to have a monopoly or near monopoly, merely to abuse that to unfair influence the market, which is what Microsoft did and was punished for. Jay Gillian, is this going to affect sales on Amazon in the US? Probably. Terralia, do take submissions for hobby-related videos. Kind of. We have a partner program. Go to miniwargaming.com, scroll to the bottom, and click on partner and read about that. Shotgun Jolly, did your business skill come from just trial and error or from running the store, or did you have some training/schooling before you started? Trial and error. with like training, not from like official schooling, but like my dad's run his own business for the past 30 years, so I learned a lot from him. And just a lot of trial and error. I've been doing my own business for 8 years now, so still a lot that I got to learn though. Zachman, Matt, you should really do a big StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty fan game. You know, that actually might be fun. Maybe I will. I suck at the multiplayer though. I don't even practice. Randomizer, more 40k bat reps to vault. I will. We will. USC Deadman, will you still be going to Valhalla? Absolutely, in October. Wouldn't miss it. I love Valhalla. It's so much fun. You need to come to. If you can afford to come to Valhalla, I know not everybody can. If you can, you need to come. It's so much fun, especially the October one that we'll be at. But also, you can go to their May one or their August one. It'll be fun there too. They're going to have special celebrities there as well. So definitely check that out. That's at bluetablepainting.com. And at the top, you look at services or something and you click on Valhalla. Read about it. Leap, have you imagined that you would be as big as you are today when you started MiniWargaming? No, to be honest, I wasn't quite sure where to go. Grundy, it is sad the store is closing, but this will make the vault subscriptions even more awesome. See, that is exactly what we're hoping for. Dark Heroic, I meant, do you ever play Eldar? Do you have an Eldar army? We have one. We got it off of eBay. It's a few thousand points, about 6,000 or 7,000. I haven't played it, though. Maybe I will. Umbrian, what do you think of GW's Failcast? And they'd move of GW to cancel, continue producing this crappy stuff in about 2 years, so the rumors say. I don't know. I don't think it's a Failcast. I think it's fine. Maybe. I haven't had that many problems with it. I know some people have, but anyways. Dakamasta, what chapter of Space Marines would you join? Why? The ones that would join the Tyranids. One skillless, when a Tyranid Prime joins a unit of Termagants, does it gain the benefit of a Tervagon bestowing its effective adrenal glands / toxin sacs? Good question. Hey, where's my rulebook? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, let's read the rules here, because I have a funny feeling they'll be answered underneath independent characters. Because the independent character thing talks about special rules and when they're bestowed and when they're not. So, Tervagon says, all units of Termagants, spawned or otherwise, within 6 inches, get to use its leadership. They also gain the benefits of its toxin, adrenal, and they get counterattack. Okay, so, that's clear. Now we look up independent characters. And so because I never actually have a warrior join Termagon, so that's interesting. Challenges. Oh, it wasn't there. It was somewhere else. Come on, you're back here. There's another spot that characters were talking about. I know somebody else is probably typing in the comments what they think the answer is, and that's fine. Hold on, I'll find it. Independent characters, 39 and 63.
This is where they all showed up.
Who?
Tripods.
I don't know how they all collected in here. Oh, here, 39. Joining and leaving a unit, blah, 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 blah. While an independent character is part of a unit, he counts as part of the unit for all rules purposes, though he still follows the rules for characters. Special rules. When an independent character joins a unit, it might have different special rules from those of the unit. Unless specified in the rule itself, as in the stubborn special rule, the unit special rules are not conferred upon the independent character, and the independent character special rules are not conferred upon the unit. Special rules that are conferred to the unit only apply for as long as the independent character is with them. Simple answer. No, he does not get the toxin sacs. Yes, Chessie LaRue, please. Please, careful with your comments there. And thank you, Mystics. All right. Wow. A lot of comments has happened. Kelly asks, what happened to the Oneris campaign? It's not canceled. I'm still planning on doing it. Just been kind of busy. Trogdor, do you know any sci-fi book or TV or movie or comic or whatever that feels the way Dark Potential feels in your mind? It doesn't have to be the same tech, more about the atmosphere. See, I've found things that look like Dark Potential, like they've gone with the overgrown greenery rather than the blown up, cratered, brown Fallout look. Like the Crisis 3 has that look, at least in the trailer. The Last of Us has that look. I don't want to just say this. I don't want to sound like, oh, my idea is so original, because there's a lot of things mixed in with it. But I don't think so, because most post-apocalyptic stuff either go for like the whole zombie thing, which I think is fun, but I just didn't want for this game, where it's all about, you know, brains and killing zombies and all that kind of stuff, either in a comedic or a serious tone. Or they go for like the dystopian war or dystopian future kind of thing. And I'm more going for a hopeful thing. It's more like a bit of a speed bump for the human race. Because I'm planning eventually, if Dark Potential ever takes off, of doing a Dark Potential game that's 1,000 years after, and there won't be a hint of post-apocalyptic at that point. They'll be well beyond it. So it's supposed to be more hopeful than that. So I'm not going to have everybody turning to banditry and prostitution and drugs, and that's it. So I don't know. If anybody has any suggestions, if I know what they're talking about, I can try to say whether I think that feels the same or not. All right. Pointy stick. I'm trying to order something from the store at the moment. Can I use my points to reduce the cost? Yes, you can. If you don't have enough points to simply purchase the order, pay with points first, and then it'll bring you back to pay for the rest of the order. I know it's kind of not intuitive, but that's the way that works. Creed, why are you changing the time? I changed the time so I'd have more time, because I was going to go from 2 to 4. It's 3:30 right now, so we still have some more time, although my throat's starting to hurt. Dark Sector, Ghost Ark or Doomsday? I had to look at the book. I am new to the game. No problem. Ghost Ark or Doomsday Ark? Well, they're two completely different vehicles. I know that you can make both of them with one. You need Ghost Arks for your Necron warriors. I have 4 of them in my army, and the Doomsday Arks are really good for your heavy support. So I wouldn't say or, I'd say and. If you were just starting, then get a Ghost Ark first, maybe, because they're really good. They're good all around. Captain Goldteeth, will Apocalyptic Con go on as normal? Yes. Before our Black Sheep, I'm only just got here. Is this going to affect the quality and quantity of videos? Definitely. It's gonna get better. Okay. Mad Cow crazy with the store closing. Is anyone losing their job? Yes, unfortunately. A few people are. The ones who are basically dedicated to the store. I'm licking my teeth right now because I just went to the dentist, so they just took off all the plaque. That's what feels different. Swims, with everything that is happening, I kind of feel bad that I'm a lifetime member of the Vault. Well, don't. You don't have to feel bad at all. It means at one point you gave us money at a time that we needed it. That's great. Crawlinks, wow, and the host has left the channel. Oh, I left just to get the books. I love how the chat's delayed. King Gribbly, if you drive in a Rhino that is moving at the speed of light, what would happen if you turn the headlights on? Well, you see, you can't be driving at the speed of light. But let's assume that you're driving near the speed of light. See, what actually happens, and I'm being serious here, according to the theory of relativity, this is not a joke. You would think, because you think like, if I'm like running and I throw a ball, then the ball speed, like if I stood still and threw the ball, and let's say I threw it at 10 meters per second, going in Imperial here if we're going to talk about science. Let's say I then started running. I don't actually know how fast you run in meters per second. Let's say I'm running 1 meter per second and I throw the ball exactly the same. The ball would be going 11 meters per second, because 10 plus 1. Well, it's actually not going 11 meters per second. It's going 10.999999999999999 meters per second. It's just so close to 11 meters per second that we don't factor in the relativity of the fact that since you're moving, time is actually moving differently for you. And once you release the ball, time will move differently for the ball. And when you factor that in, you're actually not going to just add the two together and get the full 11 meters per second. It's going to be very, very, very close, because you're so far away from the speed of light that the relativity doesn't really take an effect. However, the closer you get to the speed of light, the more that difference, if you were going near the speed of light and you threw a ball 10 meters per second, it wouldn't be your speed plus 10 meters per second. It would be less than that, because the reason for that is time dilates when you're going faster. And so for you, when you turn on the light, from your point of view, the light will move away from you at the speed of light. Which you're thinking, how is that possible? Because then it's going at the speed of light plus my speed, which means it's going faster than the speed of light. But it's not, because to you it's going at the speed of light, or away from you at the speed of light. But to everybody else, it's not. It's just getting a little bit of progress on you. But that's because for everybody else, time is moving at a different pace than the way that time is moving for you. So from your point of view, the speed of light will be constant. And from the other people's point of view, the speed of light will be the same, even though you're moving close to it and just started shining it. And that is actually how the theory of relativity works. That was zero BS. That was completely true. And by BS, I mean bullcrap. So, complains, when can we expect the Dark Potential Scavengers Collector's Edition for contributors who are waiting for them? Not for a long time. Or more stock in the collector sets. See, we don't actually stock the collector sets, so if you hadn't claimed one, you need to email our support and they can set you up. King Gribbly, Matt, what flavor do you think Tau are? Hopefully tuna, because that would be tasty. Not like canned tuna, but like fresh tuna. Makes really good raw fish. Right. Tempest Angel. Matt, have you ever looked at Bright Hammer 40K? In the bright and noble future of the 41st millennium, there's only high adventure. That's punny. Or that's punny. That's funny. It's punny too. Okay. Randomizer, why no one shoot all nuclear waste to space? Probably because of the cost of shooting it to space. Remember, it's all about economics. Kurgus, what do you think is the best way to introduce wargaming? Most likely 40K to some friends. Well, it's if you just do demo games. That's the best way. Get them to play and show your enthusiasm. Creed, what next for your NIDS if update in June? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Mad Cow Crazy had about 500 points at the EU shop, the European shop that closed a while back. Guess I can never redeem them? No, unfortunately not. That one was independent of us, kind of, whatever. Together with my vault discount codes. You can use whatever points you have in our store, plus whatever coupon codes that you have access to. Yeah, we have a little discussion in the chat right now about blaspheming and using the Lord's name in vain, and obviously here in this context we consider that to be swearing. So please do not do that. So, not that I'm against talking about stuff about religion. I'm actually not against that on these shows. Surprise. But not making crude jokes about it. So anyways, moving on from that. What time is it? 30:36. Okay. It's okay, says Goliath Online. Numbers dictate GW will have a change of management within 2 years due to loss of revenue. Well, considering the CEO is a majority shareholder, that's completely up to him. And maybe that's what he's planning. Busbina, question. If rhinos are as awful as people say, how do my foot-slogging Chaos Space Marines get across the board versus Tau or some other shooty army? See, rhinos aren't too bad. It's just more that they're no longer good for assaulting armies. Like before, itchy nose, but I'm itching on the outside. You notice that? So it doesn't look like I'm picking my nose, because like sometimes you need to itch like this. Do you ever have to do that? You have to itch like this, and it looks like you're picking your nose. Just thought you'd like to know that. See, rhinos, ever since before with 5th edition, you could move a rhino full of corn berserkers up, and then in the next turn they could disembark before it moves, and they could assault that turn. And now you can't do that. You can't assault the turn you come out, even if it's destroyed. And so it basically makes them useless for assault armies, mostly useless, not completely. But it's still good for shooty armies, because you can still pull up, drop the guys out, and unload all your weaponry into them. So I don't think that they're that bad. Corendris, yay, science. Oh wow, yeah, that's how far away behind we are in the comments. Tempest Angel, Matt, you should stop or the Inquisition will get you. Run, blam. Dark Heroic, why are we talking about science? Okay, somebody asked me, if you're moving at the speed of light and you turn on the flashlight, what happens? And I clarified you can't be moving at the speed of light. And then I clarified what would happen if you're moving near the speed of light. This is, okay, let me clarify why we're talking about science. Because this is...
Q&A.
Huh? See, Q&A is ask questions, I answer them. If I don't know the answers, I'll make up answers. Mr. Nation, Matt, what's your educational background? I have a Bachelor of Science with Computer Science, a 3-year degree at Brock University. There, that's my educational background. Also, do you watch YouTube channels like Periodic Videos or 60 Symbols? I actually do. I have seen those. My nose is so itchy, and it looks like I'm just going to pick my nose, and I just need to scratch it. There we go. They're really interesting. I think you'd like them. Yeah, I like those channels, and Minute Physics and those kind of things. Tucker, but what if the Rhino was in the warp? Well, you see, in the warp, the laws of physics don't apply. They're chaotic. That's why it's called chaos. And so what will happen is completely unpredictable, which is really inconvenient. Scottish Tabletop Gaming. Oh, my head hurts. Darn you, science. Hooray, science question answered. See, people are happy answering science questions. Okay. I need an aspirin now, says Drewski. Chris, what's this science you speak of? Laser beam. Dentist, I have a root canal tomorrow. I'm sorry to hear that. All right. What is that? What is that? Oh, I forgot to update the name. It's not trying to cast. Live sit and talk with Mafia. Update. There, now everybody that comes on the show will know it's the right show. Okay, people are asking, is Dan still working at MiniWarGaming? He is right now, but he won't be as of next week. So he's moving on. He's going to be moving out west, and so we are sad to see him go, but go he must. So still have a few more videos for him coming out, so you can look forward to that, plus The Life of a Wargamer, bidding him farewell. And yes, you can still challenge us, Mystics. Mad Cow Crazy, Velociraptor, if swearing is childish, why is it referred to as adult language? That's a good point. What I like to know is why people are like, this is inappropriate for children, but it's good for adults. A lot of things. It's like, some things are just not appropriate, period. Roboxley, please explain Dark Potential for me, Matt. Is it just like 40k? P.S. What happened to that? I answered that. I'm not going to go over the full definition of Dark Potential right here. Go to darkpotential.com to get a basic idea. And everybody's going, no, Dan, no, Dan, no, Dan, no, Dan. No, wait, we're out west in Alberta. Dan will bring his beard. He will spread it, says Tempest Angel. I told him he needs to shave it. That way he has better first impressions. USC Deadman, is this address still the same for sending Dave chocolate? Yes. Just want to know because I'm sending him a Tau surprise. That's great. One Skillis. Another Tyranid question. Would you ever use Spine Fist as an upgrade on any Tyranids? If yes, what situation / unit? Maybe I would for fun. But that's about it. They don't really... Yeah. They don't really do that well. Lav Gunner. Fun fact. GW stock is $637. Apple stock is $454. Interesting. I don't know anything about stock market, so I don't know how much of a big deal that is. Goliath Online. Why do we drive on a parkway and park in a driveway? I'd like to know that too, but the problem is, who are you going to ask? Who's responsible for calling it parkways and driveways? So, Storkman's asking who's leaving, who's staying. I don't want to announce everybody who's leaving because it's still up in the air. Still some changes being made. Everybody who's leaving knows, but there's some shuffling around and stuff. All the content producers are staying. So don't worry about that, except for Dan, but that's nothing to do with this. Mad Cow Crazy, if you have a stick that is 10 light years long, if you push it 1 meter / yard, will the other end have moved at 10 times the speed of light? The answer is no. The Kaku professor explained that. Well, yeah, because you're thinking that when you move one side of the stick, the other side of the stick moves at the same time, but it doesn't. You're just used to working with small objects where you can't tell that when I actually push it, that I push into it, which pushes the next, 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 all the way to the other side, which finally pushes that one. To you, it's so instantaneous that it looks instantaneous, but it's not. But it's so small that the difference between when this one moves and that one moves is so infinitesimally small you don't even notice it. But once you get something that's 10 light years long, somehow, I don't even know if that's possible, and you go to push it, it would take a long time. In fact, 10 years for the other side to react. I think it's 10 years, if I'm right. Mixed with madness, will you ever grow a beard? I might be glorious. I actually can't. You see, if I have never tried, I should try maybe one day, but I have like hair grows right here and here and here, and that's about it. Sorry. All right, and Dan is going to make a goodbye video. Don't worry. Mystics, if cat always land on their feet and buttered toast always lands buttered side down, what happens if you tape buttered toast to the back of a cat? I've heard this one before. Basically, you drop it, and when it gets really close to the ground, it'll stop and it'll start spinning. And this could actually become a really good power source, or it could actually create the anti-gravity that we've always been waiting for. So what you do is you get a bunch of these cats, you strap toast with butter on them, and you take the wheels off your car and you strap these cats, kind of like put a little, keeping them alive, put a little spear through each side, and put them in the 4 wheels, and then your car will never hit the ground because these cats will just be spinning right above the ground, and then you can use some sort of propulsion, and there you go, you got anti-gravity. Don't think that'll ever fly though, because you know, the people who are against animal cruelty probably won't allow it. So I don't think I'd feel comfortable with it either. I feel kind of bad for the cats. Okay. Fabian, why does highway have an interstate? Because they want to get to another state. Desirang, great thanks from Germany. Do you plan another great battle like the anniversary one? It's not planned, but we'll definitely do more. One Skelis, I have a Tyranid Prime joining a Swarm Lord plus Hive Guard. It gave Tyranid Prime 2 times bow swords. Not sure about the other upgrades. Scything Talons, Rending Claws. Well, you don't really need Rending Claws if you have Bone Swords. They're already power weapons, right? So Scything Talons are nice. Although if the... Actually, no, you don't need Scything Talons because the Swarm Lord gives some preferred enemy, doesn't he? Doesn't the Swarm Lord give everybody preferred enemy? Within 6 inches. I thought so. Oh, it can give preferred enemy to a unit within 18 inches. So yeah, the Scything Talons will be good too. Zombies are cool painting. Been working on a bunch of Dark Potential painting tutorials, though they probably won't be ready in time for Dark Potential Week. That's fine. Anyway, you guys still hiring guys for content production? Not currently, but we will in the future, yes. I hope. If everything goes as planned. Full of Spheres, thanks for providing the hobby community with a great site and great content. This is worth far more than Games Workshop product. Thanks, MiniWarGaming. I look forward to Dark Potential greatness. Well, thank you. Pilkey CRC, I think the bigger problem with a 10 light year stick is you'd probably need a massive nuke or something equally powerful to move it. Yeah, that's a lot of matter. But assuming you could just kind of push it, then yeah. Actually, you wouldn't need a massive nuke. You can just push it yourself. It's just that it wouldn't move very far. Hero, hi guys, when is the live supposed to start? Already here. Of course, you didn't hear that if you're asking that question. Grandis LAV GW stock has $637 a share with a market cap. Total share times cost of 202 million. Apple has 454 of share with a market cap of 426 billion. So there are about 2,000 times as many Apple shares in circulation. Wow. Melchionis. Hi Matt, I don't know if you've already seen it, but what do you think of the new Necron tomb board and the look like of the new Necron bomber from Forge World, which are obviously coming with the new Imperial Armor book, Fall of Orpheus? Haven't seen it. Fabian, there's no adjacent state to Hawaii, LOL. Sure there is. There's just a bit of water between them. I think I'm going to finish pretty soon. I'm starting to get tired, and I'm hungry. What editing software do we use? We use Vegas Movie Studio. Sony Vegas Platinum. It's great. It's like 120 bucks. It's all you need. It's all we use. Are there better ones out there? Probably. That one works great for us. Yes, MiniWarGaming invented Dark Potential. Okay, I think I'm going to finish here. Thank you very much for your contributions, for your questions. I think I answered everything that you guys really wanted me to answer. There's been a lot of other questions too, but just don't have time to do them all. So I'm going to sign off here and go get a snack because I'm hungry. And you don't want to be too hungry if you want to try to lose weight, because then you just overeat. So anyways, thank you for your support, and don't forget, go to miniwargaming.com/free DVDs and take part in that massive 14 DVD giveaway, which is happening right now. Happy Wargaming.